Well, we are in the second canto, but the first few sentences of this canto I will consider to be practically as a part of the first canto itself. We could include half a dozen of these first sentences, about 20-25 lines, in the symbol down itself. What is happening is these few sentences are giving the connection between what was said in the previous canto and what is going to follow in the second canto. The background is essentially background of the previous canto. So we will treat this also, today's class also, as a part of the class of the symbol down. With that, we will conclude today's today's class. We will conclude the symbol down. You see. So anyway, about this canto, second canto, there are in fact again in this canto, two sections, section 3 and section 4. Section 3 has 42 sentences and 185 lines. Section 2 has 42 sentences and 185 lines. And section 2 has 48 sentences and 182 lines. 182 lines. So the second canto has in all 90 sentences and 367 lines, practically of the same length as first canto. A little longer than the first canto, but practically the same number of sentences, same number of lines in both of them. You see. Now, this canto begins, a while withdrawn in secret fields of thought, her mind moved in a many-imaged past that lived again and saw its end approach. Dying, it lived imperishably in her, transient and vanishing from transient eyes, invisible, a fateful ghost of self. It bore the future on its phantom breast. Now this awhile, it is that which give the connection with the previous canto. You have to have the previous background before we proceed further with this canto. Then along the fleeting events far backward trail, regressed the stream of the insistent hours, and on the bank of the mysterious flood, people with well-loved forms, now seen no more, and the subtle images of things that were. Her witness spirit stood reviewing time. All that she once had hoped and dreamed and been flew past her, eagle-winged, through memory's skies. As in a many-hued flaming inner dawn, her life's broad highways and its speed bypass lay mapped on her sun-clear recording field from the bright country of her childhood's days, and the blue mountains of her soaring youth, and the paradise groves and peacock wings of love, to joy clutched under the silent shadow of doom, in a last turn where heaven rests with hell. 12 passionate months led in a day of fate. 12 passionate months led in a day of fate. Well, you can see the link it has with the previous canto straight away, you see it completely. Now, before we proceed further, it is very interesting to note that this line, 12 passionate led in a day of fate, this our returning Satyavan must die. 12 swift-winged months are given to him her alone. 12 passionate months. The theme is recurrent. 12 swift-winged months are given to him and her. That is the prophecy made by Narad. So that prophecy is already kind of foreseen here in this canto itself. Now, but the interesting point is how things fall into places. You don't count and do that kind of a thing and manipulate that it happens. How things fall automatically, so to say, into their places. The previous canto had 341 lines. This particular line, 12 passionate months led in a day of it, is the 24th line of this section. In other words, starting from the beginning of Savitri, 12 passionate months led in a day of it, this line happens to be 365 line, 365th line. This is the 365th line of Savitri. That is exactly 12 months, if it is not a leap year. It is exactly 12 months. So, how 12 months, 365 lines, everything get into their places automatically. That is the kind of an often yogic effect which happens by itself, so to say. The mother used to put her hand in the bag and pick up some coins, and she would get exactly the same number of coins she wanted. She would not count them. You want 20 counts? Here are 20 counts. Like that. Here, same way, in the entire mass of 24,000 lines, this line should be the 365th line, is something very significant in that sense, you see. So I value that aspect more than other aspects, you see. This is 24th line, and the previous canto had 341 lines. I will make one more point though. In the original edition of Savitri, the first canto had 341 lines plus 24, so 365. In the revised edition of Savitri, they have an additional line in the first canto. It is not 341 but 342. So that would make this 365. That would make this 365. You see. Sorry, 366. That would make 366 according to the new edition, revised edition. Which means that they are going by the leap year. Whereas the old edition is going by the normal year, you see. So both of them are still acceptable. I will not really accept why they have put that extra line there. The effect is so powerful here, keep it as it is. Although one can still justify, no, he's talking about the leap year, which is very rare year, rare thing, rare occurrence. After all, the supramaterial descent took place in the leap year, 29th February 1956, you see. So that is, by the way, that is kind of incidental. So we will try to take up these few lines today and connect them with what we had seen earlier, you see. Now, this is a very dense kind of a statement here. A while all these things were happening, memory, etc., a while, withdrawn in a secret field of thought. Savitri is withdrawn in a secret field of thought. Her mind moved in many imaged paths. See, the memory has awoken. The memory's casements have opened out, and the entire past is what Savitri is viewing. And it is that past now which is kind of displayed here. We will see that in more detail. That lived again and saw its end approach. That past is now seeing its end approach. Dying, it lived imperishably in her. That past is still continuing in her. Transient and vanishing from transient eye, invisible. So, but for her, that past is still there. She has to deal with the past. She has to find out why that pang is there, why that pain is there, what is the origin of that pang in the past. So that past has to live with her, invisible, a faithful ghost of self. It bore the future on its phantom. Although the past is there, that past is really carrying the future in its breast. The future, the death of Satyavan, and the unfolding of the future received.